Hi, third grade. It's Mrs. Pecora here, back for another installment of K.T. Camillo's Mercy Watson. Today we're going to be reading Princess in Disguise, and I think you could tell what she's going to be doing. So I wanted to tell you before we read, if you hear some weird noises, it's not me. It's just my puppy Winston. He's laying here next to me on the couch and he's falling asleep. So even though he likes to read, he's taking a little snooze, and if you listen, you can kind of hear him snoring. So let's read Mercy Watson, Princess in Disguise by Kate D. Camillo. Wonder what's going to happen. Ooh, that looks like candy. No toast on this page. Surprising. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Chapter 1. Mr. Watson, Mrs. Watson, and Mercy lived together in a house at 54 Deckawoo Drive. One October afternoon, in the living room of the house on Deckawoo Drive, Mrs. Watson had an idea. "Darling," said Mrs. Watson. "Yes," said Mr. Watson. "Halloween is coming." "It most certainly is," said Mr. Watson. "I believe Mercy should dress up," said Mrs. Watson. Mercy opened one eye. "I believe that Mercy should dress up and go trick-or-treating," said Mrs. Watson. Mercy opened both eyes. She liked very much the sound of the word treating. "What a splendid idea," said Mr. Watson. "But what should Mercy be?" Chapter 2. "Should Mercy be a ghost?" asked Mr. Watson. "I don't think so," said Mrs. Watson. "A pumpkin?" "Not quite right," said Mrs. Watson. "A pirate? A robot? A witch?" No, said Mrs. Watson. Mercy sighed. She closed her eyes. She fell asleep. "What then?" asked Mr. Watson. "What should Mercy be?" "I am quite certain," said Mrs. Watson, "that Mercy should be a princess." "Of course," said Mr. Watson. "It is obvious. Why didn't I think of that?" "You must go and find her a tiara," said Mrs. Watson, "and I will make her a princess dress." "I'm on the case," said Mr. Watson. "Oh, Mercy," said Mrs. Watson, "you will be so lovely. You will be beautiful beyond compare." Chapter 3. Mrs. Watson measured Mercy from snout to tail. She measured, boys and girls. She measured her from side to side. She measured Mercy around and around and around. "Heavens," said Mrs. Watson. "I hope I have enough fabric." When Mercy woke up from her nap, Mrs. Watson was smiling at her. "Darling," said Mrs. Watson, "your dress is finished." "Oink," said Mercy. "I know," said Mrs. Watson. "It is stunning, isn't it? Let's try it on." Mrs. Watson put Mercy's right front leg into the dress. Mercy took her right front leg out. Mrs. Watson put Mercy's left front leg into the dress. Mercy took her left front leg out. "Goodness gracious," said Mrs. Watson. "Please hold still or we will never get this dress on." "My darlings, my dears," called Mr. Watson, "I am home and I have located the tiara." "Oh, Mr. Watson," said Mrs. Watson, "I am having a difficult time here. Mercy does not want to wear her princess dress." "Perhaps," said Mr. Watson, "you should tell her about the treats." Mercy pricked up her ears. She liked treats. Her favorite treat of all was toast with a great deal of butter on it. "My darling, my dear," said Mr. Watson, "if you wear this dress, everyone in the neighborhood will give you treats." Mercy closed her eyes. She could see it quite clearly. "But if you want the treats, you must wear the dress," said Mr. Watson. Mercy sighed. She allowed Mrs. Watson to put her left front leg and her right front leg into the dress. She allowed Mrs. Watson to zip the dress up. She allowed Mr. Watson to put the tiara on her head. Utterly regal, said Mrs. Watson. A porcine vision, said Mr. Watson. Mercy's stomach growled. She was looking forward to the treats. Chapter 5. On Halloween night, the doorbell rang at the Lincoln sisters' house. Ding dong! Sister, called baby Lincoln, somebody is at the door. Of course somebody is at the door, said Eugenia. It is Halloween. People are expected to be at the door when it is Halloween. Meow, said General Washington, Eugenia Lincoln's new cat. Trick or treat, shouted Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson. Oink, said Mercy. Mercy is a princess, said Mr. Watson. She looks exactly like a princess, said Baby. She looks like a pig in a cheap dress, said Eugenia. Oh, sister, said Baby. In my opinion, said Eugenia, pigs should not go trick-or-treating. In my opinion, pigs should not pose as princesses. Meow, said General Washington. Oh, dear, said baby Lincoln. Eugenia Lincoln slammed the door. Chapter 6. Eugenia seemed very upset, said Mr. Watson. Yes, said Mrs. Watson, she does. Mercy's stomach growled. Where are the treats? She wondered. Where is the toast? Look, said Mr. Watson. I think Baby is trying to tell us something. Oink, said Mercy. She kicked up her heels. She ran around to the back of the Lincoln sisters' house. Follow that princess, said Mr. Watson. Chapter 7. Baby Lincoln was waiting at the back door. Shh, she said. I'm afraid that sister is not in a Halloween sort of mood, but I could not let you leave without your treats. Yum, said Mr. Watson. What a delightful array, said Mrs. Watson. What shall we choose, Mercy? Ding dong! Baby, shouted Eugenia. Where is that treat bowl? I'm on my way, sister, shouted Baby. Hurry, hurry, said Baby. Take something. Mercy examined the treats closely. She did not see one single piece of toast, but she did detect the faintest hint of butter. Butter, thought Mercy. Ooh, said Baby. Mercy! Chapter 8. Oink, said Mercy. She snuffled the floor. There was a lot of candy. There was a lot of candy everywhere. Candy was not toast, but it would have to do. Mercy munched a lollipop. She ate a lemon drop. She chewed a caramel. What is going on in here? Shouted Eugenia. Why is the candy on the floor? And what is that pig doing in my kitchen? She's not a pig, said Mr. Watson. She is a princess. Mercy crunched a butter barrel. Thought Mercy. Butter. All right, boys and girls, we're going to stop there for today. I hope you enjoyed Mercy Watson, Princess in Disguise. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of the rest of the book. Bye-bye.